Good evening. We are Hand in Hand, and this is our campaign, Turn Your Venture into an Adventure. Tonight, we're going to introduce ourselves, and we're going to talk to you all about Traceway, and we're going to talk about the challenge that we chose to face with our campaign and our plan and execution of that challenge. First off, I'm Dotsy Stevens. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
I'm Betsy Bird. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
I'm Audrey Odom. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Susie Osborne, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
And I'm Chandler Tillman, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
So we based our campaign off of the emphasis we wanted to put on y'all's aging in place policy and choosing to join the community, elder care facility community earlier on, just so you can start building that community and then age in place. So when we were going into our secondary research, we decided to ask the questions: what are people looking for in a retirement community? Who are these people that we're looking for? Who are our target market? What does Traceway offer to these senior care these seniors, and why should they choose to make that transition earlier rather than later? And what are the other senior care facilities in Mississippi, and what do they look like?
So first, while diving into secondary research, we wanted to know what are people looking for. And so one of the main things was a community base, isolating those, or take away the isolating barriers. And then also they're really interested in a place that offers transportation. And then finally, a place where they can age in place, which leads us to our next slide. We wanted to know, what can we tell people that Traceway offers that no one else is? And it was just those things. It was the multiple forms of independent living and aging in place, which seemed to be a rare find around here, but often sought after, but maybe not really known that Traceway has.
So more about our secondary research, we had the question, who is the target market? And after doing some research, demographics, and stereotypes around the state, we got that 67% of that are researching senior living facilities are family caregivers, and 22% of these are seniors themselves. And of these statistics, 75% of these are women. Which also leads into, with those numbers, 67% caregivers and 22% of seniors, that blankets a nice age group that Traceway can really target. It's a young senior majority group, and so with young seniors looking more into retirement, looking for themselves rather than having somebody else looking for them, this applies perfectly to Traceway.
Another part of our secondary research is who are the competitors in Mississippi, and we found these retirement communities, and we found that they're all assisted living. And with Traceway, it offers more than just assisted living, so this gives us the advantage to really promote the aging in place. We also wanted to familiarize ourselves with what are people looking for when they look for a retirement community, and we found these such as room and board and assistance in daily living. For our primary research, we sent out a survey that went in two directions. One for people who have loved ones living in a retirement community, and one for those that do not. We sent this out via social media and text messages, and within 2 days we received over 200 responses. With these results, we solidified that our target market is female. So the strengths found within Traceway is that it is one of the only retirement communities that offers independent living in the Tupelo area. It has created such a supportive atmosphere for its residents, and once you become a resident, you are easily able to move through the different levels of care if needed. A big weakness is the outward appearances of the homes seen from the main street, and that Traceway is having to create wait lists and are unable to help many seniors due to lack of real estate, buildings, and funds. And Traceway has an opportunity to create activities to keep their residents social and active, such as exercise classes or adding a movie theater. This will enable their residents to create a community. The threats against Traceway is the stigma that surrounds retirement communities, and with this we would like to break that stigma. And although it is the only independent living facility in the area, there are still other retirement communities that surround it.
Okay, so more about our target audiences. We have it split up into two groups, our primary and secondary audiences. Our primary audience is the daughter of the potential resident, and then our two secondary audiences would be the potential resident themselves and the granddaughter of the potential resident. So more about the daughter. We chose her as our primary audience because the highest number of residents in Tupelo is a woman from age 40, mid-40s to mid-50s. Also, the daughter of the potential resident most likely knows their parent the most, and they know how to start this transition in the easiest way possible. They're really going to be the ones that get the ball rolling. They also have full-time careers and are part-time caregivers. They've got a full plate, so we want to make sure that this transition is as easy as possible. More about our secondary audiences, we have the potential new resident. They average at age 65. We're kind of looking to lower that with the caregiver also taking part in looking for the retirement facility. And so more about them, they are used to independent living. They're baby boomers, so they're very used to doing their own thing on their own schedule. Independent banking, grocery shopping, driving themselves places. This flows perfectly with what Traceway has to offer with the independent living situations like the cottages and the villas. So this independent lifestyle is really what we're trying to target. But they're also very involved with their children and their grandchildren and in their communities. So Traceway also has a great community setup, which flows perfectly with them. The granddaughter of potential new resident is someone that shouldn't be forgotten. They're also going through a transition in life themselves. They're around age 25, getting done with school and starting this new independent lifestyle. So their perspective is really something that you shouldn't forget. They are most reachable by social media or cell phone, and they're always looking for the latest and greatest. So really capitalizing on their obsession with innovation and change is something that I think all of our campaigns will flow nicely with.
So our campaign concept is turn your venture into an adventure. And we're so excited about this because it gave our team the opportunity to create a campaign that has an exciting and an uplifting tone. And we believe that this slogan will be something that can turn a season of life that is usually very hard, it's a hard transition, into something more enticing. Along with our tone, we want to touch on aging in place in our campaign, and as well as entry-level living and Traceway's offer of that. So when looking at our slogan, turn your venture into an adventure, we want to touch on three things: establishing a strong community, taking advantage of aging in place, and making an earlier transition. And we also want to communicate this with some videos and that we'll go into more later, but current residents and just their testimonials. So when coming up with a strategy for these objectives, we want to focus on what sets Traceway apart. We want to communicate the benefits that come along with aging in place and introduce this new life to them with facts and excitement, and their adventure doesn't stop there. So we also want caregivers to know that their loved ones are going to be taken care of. That's very important, that the audience can see that the people that they are setting up in these homes, they're going to be good, they're going to be taken care of. And we want the potential residents to know that their adventure isn't going to stop here. Their community and their hobbies can still grow at Traceway.
Along with Traceway's current social media, we suggest creating a location-specific Instagram account to reach a larger audience. People are going to the internet and social media more to research new things, so with a strong social media presence, we can gain top-of-mind awareness with caregivers of potential residents. We noticed that Twitter is not really the most used social media by our target audience, so we suggest stepping back from Twitter and keeping more focus on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We've created a Facebook ad campaign, as you will see in our books, along with other content examples.
Going off of our social media, we also wanted to keep it old school and go with the direct mail approach. We wanted to do a new spin. So for our direct mail, we are going to produce postcards with pictures of current residents doing fun activities, and hopefully have current residents add notes on the back explaining kind of what their experience at Traceway has been, and emphasize the fact that adventure is here at Traceway to those potential residents. So going along with our deliverables, we wanted to take a hands-on approach and come up with an event for Traceway to hold. The details are in the book in a press release that our team created, but I want to focus on one detail of the event that we think is very important. So along with refreshments, raffles,
dancing, whatever everybody decides on and agrees on for the event, we would suggest having current residents at the event to give tours of the rooms and the facilities at Traceway. So that way it can be kind of a first-hand communication relationship building event where firsthand the current residents can show the adventure and the community that they have built at Traceway.
Okay, so for some of the website enhancements that I have some tips on, our girls' website is very impressive. It has a lot of information and good graphics. I think it's a little text heavy. I think it could be broken up, with some pictures alongside some text. This is the very first page you see when you click on the Tupelo's location, and this little blurb right here could probably be condensed into an intro video of some sort, whenever you first click on the location, it'll immediately start talking to you about like, hi, this is what we're about. And on the other side is one of the tabs open. You'll have several tabs towards the bottom that have all the main information about the location. And I think that like on this housing options, there could be a little picture next to the cottages that you're describing, and it would flow a little, it would bring up the text a little more. Also, at the bottom, like Susie was talking about with location-specific social media, I think links to all of those would be important.
Next, we have our local TV spot that we would like to recommend to you all. So it's called 12 Questions with Miss Anime. Miss Anime is hypothetical, but is a current resident living in independent living at Traceway. This local TV spot was inspired by Vogue's 73 Questions with a Celebrity, which has a great following, and we think it could do the same thing for y'all on the local channel in Tupelo. So while there's an unseen announcer behind the camera following Miss Anime through her house, she's unintentionally giving a virtual tour while also answering very informative questions about Traceway and who helps her with what. The whole TV spot is in the campaign with the script, and so I encourage y'all to look at that after. Next, we have our budget, which y'all gave us is $30,000, and we're going to go over that on the next slide with the media plan. So here's the media plan. Within our book is a more descriptive outline of what would go where, what numbers, and why. One thing I really want to hone in on is the contingency cost that we built into this media plan. We believe in spending every dollar to maximize your potential. However, these are all estimated costs, and let's just say you launched the Facebook ad and it's doing better than you ever thought. We wanted to provide a budget for you to increase how many times you run that Facebook ad. And also, another thing, like news release, we said $0, but let's say Traceway doesn't have someone on staff that can write a news release, you can pull from the contingency cost there.
To evaluate our campaign, a few ways that you could do that is you go back and look at our original survey and see if we've answered all of the questions thoroughly that we've asked. You can go back and look and see how many people attended our event. Should we do more events in the future? What interest have we piqued? Then you can take a look at our social media. Have we gained followers? Have we gained, as our analytics good? Have we gotten more likes and interaction with all of our posts? And into those analytics, you can see the reach, if it's grown any, and if we have any more unique visits to our website from new people that are checking us out. In conclusion, with our campaign, we really want to hone in on y'all's aging in place policy and growing that community earlier on. We're going to do that through a multimedia campaign with our Turn Your Venture into an Adventure slogan. We really want to emphasize the fact that though you're getting older in life, coming to Traceway doesn't mean that the adventure is ending. It means it's just starting. Thank y'all. Do y'all have any questions?
Tell us a little bit about your market research, and let me say, so far out of all our groups last night, y'all talked to the most people by far.
Yes.
Or got surveys. Tell us about how you did that.
It was crazy. I mean, we didn't expect that many respondents at all. And I mean, Chandler posted it on Facebook, and we texted a bunch of people, take our survey, like, see what you think. And I guess it just spread out, and I mean, people responded, and it was cool.
And a lot of the people who responded ended up being the target market we expected, which was the female caregiver. Not even necessarily females our age. It was the moms, the even younger grandmothers that maybe know us. We were laughing at how fast the responses were coming in.
It was 2 days. We just couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
It's great.
It's good.
It's great. Great job using the terminology that we use. I have to compliment you on that. Very nice. Great job.